Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 5 Questions with the Paulist Fathers. And today we're going to go out to sort of a rainy San Francisco these days, but it's not raining on this guy's parade. Father Joe Scott, who's celebrating 50 years of priestly ordination. Father Joe, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not bad, thanks. And let's get right into it. Question one.
Okay.
Yeah, 50 years since ordination. Has priesthood been exactly what you've imagined, or has there been some surprises along the way?
Actually, it was completely different from what I imagined. I really started off with the sense that I would be spending a lot of time celebrating Mass and being involved with liturgical things. And I really had no idea that people were involved with it. I'm an introvert, very bookish. And so when I arrived at my first parish, it was a huge surprise. It took me about a year to adjust, but my first parish was St. Mark's University Parish at the UCSB campus. And it took me about a year, but I eventually found out that people were there to help me to learn and support me and challenge me and love me. And I said, well, that's not so bad. But I had to wait till I was working in a parish before I really realized that.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
question two, what's the one thing you remember most about your ordination day?
How scared I was. I
Really?
was scared to death at my ordination day. And it was all kind of a blur around me. I remember I was excited to see my family who had come from Los Angeles to the ordination, and I think they all came. And so, but I primarily remember, everything sort of was a blur until the end of it all, and visiting with family was, a nice, relaxing reward.
Nice. And question three, what's one prayer or prayer practice that has given you comfort these 50 years of priesthood?
Well, as I started very early in my life as a priest, with a centering prayer, and that was a big help for me to have a regular daily practice of just being quiet and listening to God. That was very helpful. Uh, I read somewhere along the way that the early Christians' practice of prayer was the Our Father in the morning, around noontime, and in the evening. And so I incorporated that into my life too. And that's pretty much my regular prayer is doing the Lord's Prayer 3 times a day, and the centering prayer. And I've been very lucky over the years to have lots of wonderful experiences with people who have shared prayer workshops and Bible studies and so forth, where I've learned a lot of new things. But those are really the basic things that I use for my prayer.
Nice. And question four, you worked at Paulist Fr for a little while. I think that's when I ran into you in New York.
Right.
What's one book that's made a big difference in how you see the world for you?
You have to stick with one.
Yeah.
You have to stick with one. I'm going to say Jack Kenny's Now You Are Catholic.
Ah,
Kenny was a Paulist who he was a very practical guy, and he had a great sense of humor as well. And that comes through in his book, Now You Are Catholic. I don't know if it's still in print. I think it became kind of outdated with the RCIA, but he just did the most wonderful job of explaining what a Catholic does and what a Catholic is to somebody who was coming out for the first time. So Jack Kenny but I got some others on the list too.
go ahead. Give me another one. Why not?
Tom and Fisher Hart's Catholic. It was Thomas and Fisher Hart's book on the first 5 years of marriage.
Ah,
And I don't know if that's still in print too, but that was a wonderfully practical book that I still make use of it now whenever I'm dealing with a couple who are preparing for weddings. All about the first 5 years of marriage.
nice. And finally, our last question.
Yeah.
There's a zombie apocalypse, and what saints that you would like to have on your side fighting against the zombies?
Well, St. Joseph, because my name was Joseph, my father's name was Joseph. My father was a quiet but very faithful man, And so it was very easy for me to relate to St. Joseph. And so he's there. And I'll also mention St. Patrick because I have Irish blood, at least part of me is Irish. And I've always admired St. Patrick as somebody who had like great courage, and also he was a really great poet. If you read his writings about his own life, he really had that gift of poetry and the love of nature and all of that. So, and I'll mention one more, John the 23rd. John the 23rd is just a great guy, I think. And he was the first pope I really remember.
Sure, yeah.
And what I remembered about him, actually, in those years, I didn't know anything about what the Vatican Council was about because I was like 12 years old. But he put St. Joseph's name in the canon of the Mass.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that was I was for him after
that. That's great. So those are 5 questions. Father Joe, 50 years. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. It's great talking with you again.
You too.
Yeah, we'll see we could see each other more often.
Absolutely, yeah. We have to get out to San Francisco and have lunch.
You do. You'll like it.
I'm Mike Hayes, and he's Father Joe Scott. 50 years of priesthood for him. We'll see you all again next time.